What put you in the emergency room? Motorcycle accident. My stupid ass didn't wear any protective gear except for a helmet. Scraped my knees and severely bruised an ankle. Never rode without gear after that. And also a fracture in the very same foot like 7 years prior. I fainted while pooping, while naked, while pregnant, while my toddler was in the bathtub. Not my most glamorous moment. It was before I got into medical school. I was volunteering in the I walked in one night, and a tech was scrubbing a guy with road rash down his arm, his body, and his leg. It looked really painful, and I asked the patient what happened. I was on my Holly, and I was being chased by the cops. I went around a corner, hit some gravel, and laid my bike down. I noticed the man's wife in the corner of the room roll her eyes. "How does that story sound?" he asked. "Sounds great," I said. "What really happened?" "I was on my scooter going downhill and I fell off." Stick with the first story. Appendicitis. I thought I had the flu and nursed it for over 24 hours. Not painful but most uncomfortable experience. My doctor showed me photos of what she saw and cut out, so I guess that was cool/gross. Cutting a pumpkin for Halloween. Turned to answer my daughter's question and stabbed myself in the chest. Honey, I think I need to go to the emergency room. What? Oh my god, you're bleeding everywhere. Here's a towel. Just hold it tight there. I'll get the car keys. Kids, in the car. Daddy had another accident. A short wait and a few stitches later, we went out for ice cream. Mr. Jack-o'-lantern had some real blood on him that year. At 2 years old I drank an entire bottle of children's Tylenol and had to go get my stomach pumped. When I was 15, I split my chin open after falling while ice skating. I had to get 3 stitches in my chin and go to school with a giant band-aid over it. In college, bronchitis plus asthma. I asked the nurse if you could literally cough your lungs up. She said no, and then I had a coughing fit so hard my sight blacked out and I almost passed out. 2 years ago, it was an adverse reaction to ciprofloxacin. I became so weak I couldn't stand and spent 3 months in PT building up enough strength to be able to walk again. My gait is still abnormal, but improving with time. Workshop accident. When I was in high school, 13 stitches. Motorcycle accident when I was in the service. Fractured skull, partially amputated left ear, broken collarbone. Attacked by crazy girlfriend with an iron, 15 stitches in my head. Fell down drunk and split my chin open, 7 stitches. Heart attack. In that order. A softball-sized cyst twisted around one of my ovaries. Decided that it was done lurking and spontaneously ruptured. Had a migraine for 15 straight days during withdrawal from some meds. They had to give me N4 with a bunch of shit in it and basically told me that it wouldn't have gone away if I didn't get the 4th. Quarter in my throat. Edit. I forgot to say it got stuck and partially blocked my airway. Kidney stone that my GP said wasn't a kidney stone, just muscle spasms. My husband on the other hand. Bicycle accident, broken arm, road rash, bicycle accident, cracked rib, collapsed lung, separated shoulder, bicycle accident, leg broken in 3 places. Still rides his bicycle almost every morning. Decided to be a little shit and push my luck with an electric fence. I was 3. My grandmother said over and over, don't get near the electric fence with my riding toy. I took it as a challenge, so I went straight into the fence. When I woke up it was nighttime and there was a doctor looking at me on a table, while my brother and papa stood in the back of the room. I still have a scar under my left eye at 21. 400+ degree hot cooking oil accidentally dumped on my feet. Falling down a flight of 22 steps head first. EMT still couldn't believe I didn't break a single thing, and no concussion. Just contusions on my ribs, bruises on my knees, and a sore ankle. Attacked by bats in Africa. Came home 2 days later, and went straight to the ER to get shots for rabies. Let me tell you, There was zero waiting. The second I said rabies, they rushed me in with the highest of urgency. I was hit by a car, crossing a zebra crossing. Currently signed off work, recovering. Still not certain whether or not I'll walk properly again. I've been 3 times in 30 years. First time for nearly slicing my toe off on broken glass, the second for appendicitis, and lastly for a kidney stone. All 3 times were miserable experiences consisting of prolonged waits, intense pain, and enormous medical bills. Not me, but a friend went to a concert and decided it was too loud for her, so she used earplugs. She shoved them into her ears, and when everyone else took theirs out, she realized they were in too deep. That night was possibly one of the funniest nights of our lives. Horse riding, chose a new trail, went into a low-hanging branch at a full gallop, and took me off in very tragically comical way. Server bruising and a broken collarbone, haha. Went down an 80-degree slope on one of those pizza disc sleds. There were rocks and a river at the bottom of the slope. All things considered, I walked out relatively unharmed. When I was 8, I fell off of a huge ass trampoline onto concrete floor and split my head open. Blood went fucking everywhere. Got a few stitches and paraded them at school the day after. A blood clot in the back of my neck was very unexpected, since I was 18 at the time. I thankfully survived, and 5 years later am in great health. Blacked out on my birthday when leaving a club, and fell down a flight of very steep stairs. Was I drunk? Hell no. I'd had a bottle of water and glass of cola throughout my entire night, because I wasn't in the mood to drink alcohol. I blacked out because either my cola had been spiked, it was a shady club, or I was exhausted from being at work until 6 AM the same day as I went out. Slicing an onion. The smart way. Yeah, I know. Holding it in one hand between fingers and thumb, and slicing with the other toward the flashy thumbpit part of my hand. Sliced through the onion, then some. I ran at the pool and got brain damage. I still run at the pool. There was a girl I liked back in freshman year of high school. One day she's walking by with a case full of cupcakes. She spots me and runs over, saying it's her birthday, and hands me a cupcake. Me being such a nice guy, takes it and eats it, only to find out it's coated in peanut butter. I'm severely allergic to peanuts. I wanted to spit it out, but she was staring right at me with a big grin on her face, and I couldn't make her sad. After a while I say it's delicious, and she finally walks off, and I dart to the bathroom and throw it all up. Not even 5 minutes later, my entire mouth, throat, and stomach is itching, and I feel like passing out. I run to the nurse, grab my EpiPen and jam myself, and have the nurse call my dad. Bill was $100. I slipped and fell onto a glass ornamental goat full of cheap Greek wine that my mill had brought us back from a holiday, and was still by the front door. Needed 48 stitches in my knee, and was in a wheelchair for a month. Allergic reaction to pickles. Don't ask. I started hallucinating, and my tongue swelled up. I was having an allergic reaction to a prescribed medication. Ate nothing but Stouffer's lasagna for a week, and got so constipated that I thought I was dying. I tried to surf down a steep hill on a red play school wagon. I had never surfed a day in my life, nor did I bother to check if the steep hill had boulders sticking out of it. I wasn't even midway when I hit a boulder and flew the rest of the way, and ended up breaking my hand and arm. I was 5 at the time, so naturally I tried to hide it from my creators, but the huge black and blue dangling thing that was once my arm gave it away. I had a seizure at work in a restaurant, and fell face first into a table of guest seating, and split my eyelid open. We were having hot dogs for lunch, and I got excited because I'd been craving them. Not having any rolls, I ran out the front door while my wife was in the car. I slipped on a rock next to the front door instead of using the steps, and broke my foot. I broke my foot because of hot dogs. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like. Come back tomorrow for more videos. Subscribe to become cheese.